And now I'd like to introduce CAIRÍN O'Connor, who is the Development Director of the Bolton Trust, which is the sponsor of the Docklands Innovation Centre, which is attached to the DIT.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you all for being here early on a Saturday morning. And before we get into the session about new technology and localisation at work, I'd like to talk a little bit about my work in Docklands Innovation and to set the scene for enterprise and innovation that's happening in Ireland. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Docklands Innovation Bolton Trust model. When the Trust was set up, the mission statement was towards an enterprise culture, and that was at a time in 1987 when none of the enterprise boards or the other enterprise support agencies were in existence. So after about 10 years, we changed our mission to breaking the barriers to enterprise growth. And the Bolton Trust owns and manages Docklands Innovation Park, where there's approximately 35 established companies with 350 people working there. It's home to the DIT Hothouse New Frontiers programme, and we have a lot of initiatives including enterprise space and supports for the entrepreneurs. I'm very pleased today that we have one of the founding members of the Bolton Trust, Ray O'Neill, here with us, and also our chairman, Pat McCormick, and vice chairman, Kevin Sullivan. The Docklands Innovation Park is a large facility, 14,000 square metres, and there's very much a community of entrepreneurs based there. We have the incubation facilities for the Hothouse programme, and also the entrepreneurs get access to meeting rooms, flexible terms, services such as secretarial and accountancy, and then very much what's important is the referrals. And my work would include referring them maybe to a bank manager or to one of the enterprise boards or Enterprise Ireland. And the New Frontiers Hothouse programme is an Enterprise Ireland funded venture programme, which means the focus is on funding. Approximately 30 companies per year will seek high potential startup status coming out of that programme. And the term HPSU is used by Enterprise Ireland. It means that they plan to employ more than 10 people, turn over more than $1 million, and be an internationally traded product or service within 3 years. It works well for us that the startups mix with the established and anchor tenants on the premises. The focus for the Hothouse programme and ourselves is very much on investment, and we have an annual event, a showcase of companies coming out of the park, our Docklands Innovation Park Awards, which for the last few years have been hosted by Pricewaterhouse. One good case study is Ronan Clark of Smart Wall Paint. He was an entrepreneur in the property business, and when his business was going down, he developed a product which turns any surface into a whiteboard. And he came to us and we gave him some incubation space. He had one person working with him, and he worked with a unit in DIT to develop his product, the Crest Institute. And he took part in our events, investment evenings, and won our award last year. And now, although he's moved out of Docklands Innovation Park, he employs 15 people and is exporting his product to 23 countries. When he started out, it was very much an online business, but now he's building the business and making it more sustainable by partnering with distributors in various countries. And this year's winner of our award is PropertyGate, and it's a system for use by property managers. And I read this week in Forbes magazine that data is the most important tool of all these days. And we hear a lot about big data. The product that PropertyGate has is data and data analytics. Some of you will know that Bolton Trust has run the student enterprise competition in DIT for 20 years, and I think that's been a very good grounding for the students. They form teams, and approximately 60 teams each year would come from the various colleges in DIT. We've run 3 enterprise development programs funded by Springboard, which are for job seekers. We've had engineers, solicitors, architects, and various craftspeople and people from the property sector on this program. They learn how to upskill, and most of them will go on, approximately 60% will create their own business, and others will find jobs. We hope next year that we'll run some events with the Green Foundation Ireland. And again, most of you will know that the Bolton Trust, the members of the Trust are retired and current staff of DIT. So we work very closely with various colleges in DIT. And we use the Innovation Voucher scheme, which means that a startup company can get €5,000 from Enterprise Ireland, but they must spend it in one of the colleges on research or on developing a product. The government has increased its spend on research and development in the last number of years, and I think it's been very effective. And we support the model where the triple helix model of innovation, where academia, companies and the state agencies are all working together. Now, this global entrepreneurship monitor, what's interesting is this figure here, the nascent entrepreneurs, which means people that are actively involved in the process. You can see that in the States, in the US, it's approximately double what it is in Ireland. And most of the figures are nearly double what they are in Ireland. So we believe our work has a long way to go. Similarly with this slide, approximately 40% of Irish entrepreneurs starting a business believe that they will create 5 jobs. And only 20% believe that they will create 20 jobs or more. So again, there's a long way to go for this whole sector of job creation and enterprise support. And given that we're an island economy, only 18% of entrepreneurs believe that they will export more than 50% of their product. So we see that that's an opportunity for us and that figure must grow. Just looking at some of the companies that have come out of Docklands Innovation. Neutral monitors sustainable procurement and the carbon footprint. Mandac has got 2 contracts with the European Space Agency, and they provide internet access in remote parts of Africa. 2 female entrepreneurs are started Vidyad, which is an affordable way to make a video. Instead of using a whole film team, they use technology, and the companies can make a video for between €300 and €500. Cornude was one of our job seekers, and they've developed a gourmet popcorn and artisan product using traditional methods. And the girl Ruth went through the DIT Culinary Arts. She was a graduate of that program, and now she's trading, and you might find her in the Stephen's Green market over Christmas. The constraints that are identified by the entrepreneurs, the major constraints, are funding and the economic climate. So the economic climate is improving a bit, but there's still a long way to go. And if you just look at the figures, in 2012, 3.2% of adults invested 26,000 in startup companies through various schemes, angel schemes or government business expansion schemes. And this is down from 46,000 in 2010. So there is a long way to go. But we're pleased to see that, in keeping with today's theme, that peer-to-peer funding and peer-to-peer outsourcing and sourcing is becoming mainstream with companies like Fundit and Linked Finance. And another company that's worth watching is 1,000 Seeds, led by Ramal Pereira. He's a very inspirational entrepreneur who's set up 2 companies and is now helping others. And he talks a lot about lean startups. And what lean is new ways to cut work time and eliminate waste. So again, the lean movement is very important. When we monitor or survey the companies in our centre that we work with, the thing that they most benefit from by being based in a centre of entrepreneurs is the peer-to-peer learning and support. They do benefit from the investment network and the mentoring and everything, but that peer-to-peer learning comes out on top. And one company that you may know is Mix Garage. They started in Docklands Innovation Park just over 10 years ago, and now they're based out in Park West in a very large premises, and they're shipping car parts all over Europe. And given that car parts are not genuinely made in Ireland, I think it's very commendable that they can make a profit and export car parts all over Europe. Just a bit about myself. I'm working in this area because I'm an entrepreneur. And in the 80s, I set up a company called Traditional Cheese Company with a partner. And today that company has a turnover of 25 million and employs 50 people. I don't have any shares anymore, unfortunately, but there you go. And after I worked with the cheesemakers, After a traditional cheese company, I worked with the Farmhouse Cheesemakers Association for a few years. And I think they're, as a group, they're very innovative, and they're doing exactly what we're talking about today. They're creating sustainable jobs in rural areas around Ireland. And when I joined the cheese business, there was only 3 or 4 farmhouse cheeses in Ireland. And by the time I left 12 years later, there was over 60 different cheeses. I also sold hampers, was probably one of the first people to sell Christmas hampers in Ireland. So just to summarise, the triple helix matrix is really important, as is collaborative networking, such as the SERIND initiative. And all of this supports an innovation-led culture. So I hope some of you will connect with me on LinkedIn, and I look forward to talking to you later on. Thank you.